Welcome to another deep dive with us. Today, we're going to kind of dig into this whole idea of how to get what you want out of life.
Okay.
And we've got some pretty different sources this time around.
Yeah.
We've got like excerpts from Brendan Burchard, a podcast description all about the law of attraction.
Okay.
And we've got some material from Wealth Wave, and even this kind of surprising connection back to ancient Greek myths.
It's it is interesting to see how all of these sources, which seem so different on the surface,
Yeah.
can actually all complement each other.
Right. Yeah, let's start with Brendan Burchard.
Sure.
He really puts a lot of emphasis on taking control of your own development.
Yeah, he actually shares how he was quote, an awkward, happy-go-lucky kid who was scared of people.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of accepting that, he really actively worked to improve his communication skills.
Yeah.
He sought out books and classes and mentors, always pushing himself to get better.
I think what's so interesting is that he prioritized skill building
Yeah.
over having like a stable job or
Yeah.
income. That says a lot about his commitment to his vision.
Right.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's a great example of how investing in yourself can pay off in the long run.
Hmm.
Sometimes we have to prioritize growth over immediate comfort or security.
Yeah.
Burchard's story kind of makes you think, what skills have you always wanted to develop?
Right.
Are you willing to prioritize them, even if it means making some sacrifices?
And that segues perfectly into this next idea of visualization and manifestation.
Mm-hmm.
So this podcast description we have talks about tuning your mental frequency to
Right.
match your goals.
Yeah.
Could you unpack that a little bit?
Sure. So it's related to the law of attraction,
Mhm.
which is often misunderstood.
Okay.
It's not just about thinking positive thoughts,
Right.
It's about aligning your thoughts and emotions with what you actually want to create.
Okay.
Think of it this way. Like an athlete doesn't just wish to win a race,
Yeah.
They train
Yes.
and they visualize themselves crossing the finish line. And that mental preparation helps them perform better.
So it's about actively like shaping your mindset to be receptive to opportunities.
Exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
it's like setting an intention.
Okay.
And it's not about ignoring potential challenges.
Right.
It's about maintaining that belief in your vision, even when things get tough.
That reminds me of the ancient Greek myth of Pandora's box.
Okay.
Even after all the world's evils were released,
Yeah.
hope remained.
Right.
Maybe that myth is really about like the importance of maintaining hope, even when facing adversity.
That's a really insightful connection.
Yeah.
It speaks to the resilience of the human spirit,
Yeah.
and it reinforces the idea that our mindset plays a crucial role in shaping our reality.
So we have intentional skill building and a mindset that's focused on attracting what we want.
Right.
Now let's add in the Wealth Wave material,
Okay.
which focuses on financial literacy.
What strikes me about their approach is that they see financial literacy as a path to empowerment
Mm-hmm.
for both individuals and communities.
Right.
It's not just about making money.
Okay.
It's about making informed choices that lead to a more secure and fulfilling life.
They talk about this idea of invisible wealth,
Right.
this idea that prioritizing financial security over flashy displays of wealth can be misunderstood.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's a powerful concept. We live in a culture that often glorifies instant gratification
Yeah.
and material possessions.
Mm-hmm.
But true wealth,
Right.
the kind that provides lasting security and peace of mind,
Mm-hmm.
often comes from those delayed rewards,
Yeah.
from making those smart long-term investments.
They talk about that importance of delaying gratification.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder if there's an area in your own life where you might benefit from a long-term approach,
Mm-hmm.
maybe investing in something that might not yield immediate rewards,
Sure.
but could pay off significantly down the road.
So it's a question worth considering. Are there areas where we're prioritizing short-term satisfaction at the expense of our long-term goals?
Right.
It could be anything from our finances to our health, our relationships, or our personal development.
Now, for something a little bit unexpected,
Okay.
Wealth Wave analyzed Christmas movies
Mm-hmm.
like Elf, Home Alone, and The Grinch to demonstrate leadership principles.
Interesting.
What do you make of that?
Well, it's an interesting approach, using pop culture to illustrate complex ideas.
Yeah.
For example, Buddy the Elf's unwavering optimism and enthusiasm, even in unfamiliar and sometimes challenging situations,
Right.
reminds us that our attitude can be contagious.
Right.
So how can we bring more of that positive energy to our own work and interactions?
So even a lighthearted Christmas movie can offer some valuable insights.
Absolutely. Consider Kevin McAllister in Home Alone.
Okay.
That kid demonstrates incredible resourcefulness and problem-solving skills under pressure.
Mm-hmm.
What unexpected strengths do we possess that we haven't fully tapped into yet?
Okay, I see how these seemingly simple stories can actually spark some deeper reflection.
Yeah. And then there's the Grinch, whose transformation highlights the power of empathy.
Right.
Understanding other people's perspectives is key to effective leadership and successful collaboration.
So how do we connect all of these seemingly disparate ideas?
If we step back and look at the bigger picture,
Yeah.
I think it's about recognizing that we have more control over our lives and outcomes
Mm.
than we often realize.
Mm.
Whether it's intentionally building skills, cultivating a mindset that attracts what we want,
Yeah.
prioritizing financial literacy, or even finding inspiration in a Christmas movie.
Mm.
It's about taking ownership of our own growth.
Right.
It's about being proactive rather than reactive.
That's a great point. And it's not about completely reinventing yourself from scratch, right?
No, not at all.
Wealth Wave talks about reinvention as an evolution, building on the foundation you already have.
Right.
They even talk about the rise of silver entrepreneurs, proving it's never too late to learn or change direction.
That's right.
Do you think that resonates with the listener?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, it's about challenging those limiting beliefs that tell us we're too old.
Yeah.
Or too inexperienced or not capable of change.
Right.
What aspects of ourselves might we want to evolve to achieve our goals? What assumptions might we need to challenge?
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to explore those unexplored paths, those hidden talents we've been neglecting.
There's more to this than just individual ambition, though, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Wealth Wave really emphasizes togetherness,
Hmm.
teamwork, and unity.
They use the African proverb,
Yeah.
if you want to go fast, go alone.
Okay.
If you want to go far, go together.
I like that.
It's a powerful reminder that while individual drive is important,
Mm-hmm.
collaboration and a shared vision can take us much further.
Even someone like Tom Brady, with all of his success in football,
Right.
had to go through a learning curve when he transitioned to broadcasting.
Absolutely.
It's a reminder that we all start somewhere. Mm-hmm.
And it's okay to not be instantly great at everything we try.
It's true. We often let that fear of not being good enough
Yeah.
hold us back from incredible opportunities.
But there's this concept of the rule of 100.
Yeah.
Have you heard of this?
Yes. It's the idea that dedicating just 100 hours a year to a skill,
Okay.
which breaks down to just 18 minutes a day,
Wow.
can put you ahead of most people.
Really?
It really highlights the power of consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine what you could achieve in a year with that small time commitment.
We all have 18 minutes a day we can dedicate to something if it's truly important to us.
That's right.
We've covered quite a bit already.
We have.
From skill building and visualization to financial literacy, leadership, teamwork,
Mm-hmm.
and even the power of small steps.
And we're just getting started. So we've talked about financial literacy.
Yeah.
But what does that actually look like in real life?
Right.
Wealth Wave dives into some practical insights,
Yeah.
particularly how our financial systems can sometimes feel like they're working against us. Mm-hmm.
Especially if we don't fully understand them.
It's almost like we're playing a game where we don't know all the rules.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
For example, they talk about how traditional savings accounts often pay very low interest rates.
Right.
You know, your money might grow a tiny bit,
Mm-hmm.
but the banks often use those same deposits to make loans and investments that generate much higher returns for them.
So how do we level the playing field?
Well, WealthWave stresses that financial literacy empowers us to make informed choices.
Okay.
It's about understanding the options available
Mm-hmm.
and making decisions that align with our goals,
Right.
whether that's saving for a house, investing for retirement, or simply feeling more financially secure.
They also touch on the political landscape
Yeah,
and how that can impact our financial decisions,
right.
particularly around elections.
What's interesting is that they caution against making rash decisions based on short-term political events.
Okay.
Instead, they point to historical data showing that staying invested, even amidst uncertainty,
Yeah.
often leads to better long-term results.
So resist the urge to panic and pull all your money out of the market just because there's an election coming up.
Exactly. It's about taking a long-term perspective
Yeah.
and not letting short-term fluctuations derail our overall financial strategy.
Wealth Wave also talks a lot about leadership,
Yeah.
both in business and personal development.
Mhm.
I'm curious about their perspective.
Well, they emphasize that true leadership goes beyond managing tasks and hitting deadlines.
Okay.
It's about inspiring others to achieve something bigger than themselves.
Hmm.
They even use examples like John F. Kennedy
Right.
and his ability to rally people around a shared vision.
So it's about clear communication, passion,
Yeah,
and creating a sense of purpose.
precisely. And it's about recognizing that effective leadership often requires collaboration.
Right.
They share the African proverb again.
Okay.
If you want to go fast, go alone.
Right.
If you want to go far, go together.
Yeah.
It's a good reminder that teamwork can amplify our individual efforts.
We've talked about the importance of stepping outside our comfort zones.
Yeah,
Does WealthWave address that?
they absolutely. Do they even share an anecdote about Tom Brady's transition to broadcasting?
Okay.
Even someone with his level of accomplishment in football
Yeah.
faced a learning curve when entering a new field.
Right.
It highlights that we all start somewhere
Yeah.
and that it's okay to not be an expert right away.
It's reassuring to know that even the greats have to go through a learning process.
Right.
It reminds me of the rule of 100.
Mm-hmm.
Even dedicating a small amount of time each day can lead to significant progress over time.
It's about consistency
Yeah.
and recognizing that mastery takes time.
Right.
They tie that into financial literacy as well.
Okay.
It's about making small, consistent choices that compound over time,
Right.
rather than searching for get-rich-quick schemes.
Mentorship also seems to be a key theme.
Yeah, for sure.
What does WealthWave say about that?
Well, they highlight how even top performers in various fields, whether it's athletes, business leaders, or artists,
Yeah.
benefit from having coaches and mentors.
Right.
It's about recognizing that we don't have to figure everything out on our own,
Yeah.
and that seeking guidance can accelerate our growth.
Mm-hmm.
They suggest finding people who have already achieved what we aspire to
Right.
and learning from their experiences.
It makes me think, who are the mentors in my own life?
Yeah,
Are there people I could reach out to for guidance and support?
that's a great question to consider.
Yeah.
And it goes both ways.
Okay.
Could you be a mentor to someone else?
Right.
Sharing your knowledge and experience can be incredibly rewarding.
WealthWave also delves into the nature of success,
Uh-huh.
particularly in entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
What are some of their key insights?
One crucial point they make is that success is rarely a straight line.
Mm-hmm.
There will inevitably be setbacks, rejections, and moments of doubt.
Right.
But it's about perseverance,
Okay.
having the courage to keep going even when faced with challenges.
Right.
They even quote Winston Churchill, who said,
Okay.
"Success is not, final failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts."
It's a powerful reminder that failure is not the opposite of success.
Right.
It's part of the process.
They also emphasize the importance of self-belief,
Yeah.
particularly when pursuing something that others might not understand or support.
Okay.
They highlight Henry Ford's famous quote, "Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right."
Right.
It speaks to the power of our beliefs in shaping our reality.
Mm.
If we don't believe in ourselves and our vision,
Yeah.
it's unlikely that others will either.
So much of this comes down to mindset.
Yeah,
Do they talk about the importance of personal growth and self-improvement?
they certainly do. They quote Zig Ziglar, who said,
Oh.
"You don't build a business, you build people, and then people build the business."
Wow.
It suggests that investing in our own development is crucial for long-term success,
Hmm.
whether it's learning new skills, expanding our knowledge,
Yeah.
or cultivating a more positive mindset.
That's rare.
Our personal growth is the foundation for everything else we want to achieve.
So it's not just about hitting external targets.
Right.
It's about cultivating that inner growth as well.
Exactly.
What else does WealthWave explore?
Well, they delve into some fascinating ideas about human nature
Okay.
and how we can use that understanding to achieve greater success.
Mm-hmm.
They pose an interesting question.
Okay.
What if, instead of constantly comparing ourselves to others,
Right.
we focused on competing against our past selves?
That's a really interesting idea.
Yeah.
It shifts the focus from external validation to internal growth.
It's about setting personal benchmarks
Okay.
and striving to continuously improve.
Yeah.
Rather than getting caught up in the endless cycle of comparison,
Mm-hmm.
they also talk about the importance of stepping outside our comfort zones,
Okay.
embracing the discomfort that comes with growth and new challenges.
That can be scary, though.
Yeah.
How do they address the fear that often comes with stepping into the unknown?
Well, they emphasize the importance of cultivating a positive mindset,
Okay.
focusing on what we can control rather than what we can't.
Right.
They even discuss a study about dream scrolling,
Okay.
the act of spending time looking at things we aspire to own or achieve.
Isn't dream scrolling just a form of escapism?
Well, it can be,
Okay.
The study suggests that for many people,
Yeah.
it serves as a motivational tool.
Okay.
It helps them visualize their goals
Mm-hmm.
and stay focused on what they're working towards.
Right.
It's about turning that desire into fuel
Yeah.
rather than letting it become a source of discontent.
So instead of feeling envious or discouraged when we see things we want but don't yet have,
Yeah,
we can use them as inspiration to keep striving towards our goals.
exactly. It's about harnessing that desire and channeling it into positive action.
Mm-hmm.
They even highlight how in times of economic uncertainty,
Okay.
people tend to increase their dream scrolling
Right.
as a way to maintain hope and optimism about the future.
Mm-hmm.
It's about holding on to that vision,
Yeah.
that belief that things will eventually get better.
There's something to be said for maintaining that sense of hope even in challenging times.
Yeah, absolutely.
What else do they highlight?
Well, they talk about the importance of embracing simplicity,
Oh.
particularly as we get older.
Mm-hmm.
It's about letting go of the unnecessary clutter in our lives, both physical and mental,
Yeah.
to make room for what truly matters.
Okay.
It's about prioritizing our time and energy,
Mm-hmm.
focusing on the things that bring us joy and fulfillment.
It makes me think about what I could simplify in my own life
Yeah,
to create more space for the things I truly value.
that's a valuable question for all of us to consider.
Right.
What are we holding on to that no longer serves us?
Mm-hmm.
What could we let go of to create a more meaningful and fulfilling life?
They also touch on the importance of self-respect and setting healthy boundaries.
Yeah, they suggest that anger is often a mask for deeper emotions,
Okay.
like fear or hurt. It's about learning to recognize those underlying feelings
Right.
and addressing them directly,
Yeah.
rather than letting them manifest as anger or resentment.
Okay.
It's about understanding ourselves better
Yeah.
and developing healthier coping mechanisms.
That resonates with me.
Yeah.
It's about taking responsibility for our own emotions and learning to communicate them effectively.
They also emphasize the importance of being coachable,
Okay.
being open to feedback, and willing to learn from others.
It's about letting go of the ego
Right.
and recognizing that we don't have all the answers.
Exactly. And they point out that coachability isn't a sign of weakness.
Yeah.
It's a sign of strength.
Okay.
It's about having the humility to acknowledge areas where we can improve
Mm-hmm.
and the willingness to put in the work to grow.
Right.
They even use the example of athletes
Yeah.
and how even the most talented individuals rely on coaches to help them reach their full potential.
We all need guidance and support along the way.
Absolutely. And they remind us that there are people out there who want to see us succeed.
Yeah.
It's about finding those people and allowing them to support us on our journey.
It seems like there's this recurring theme of taking action.
Yeah.
We can have all the knowledge and positive thinking in the world, but it's kind of useless unless we put it into practice.
WealthWave has this powerful analogy
Okay.
about time being like a bank.
Okay.
Each day, we get a deposit of 86,400 seconds.
Okay.
But this time, bank doesn't allow for rollovers or transfers.
So we need to use those seconds wisely or they're lost forever.
That's the idea. It encourages us to evaluate how we're investing our time.
Right.
Are we spending it on things that truly matter?
Mm.
Things that align with our values and goals?
Yeah.
Or are we letting it slip away on distractions and activities that don't really contribute to our well-being or success?
They highlight 3 areas where entrepreneurs should be investing their time:
Okay.
educating themselves, building relationships, and teaching effectively. It seems like a cycle of continuous learning, connection, and sharing.
It creates this beautiful ecosystem where we're always growing, expanding our network,
Yeah.
and empowering others with what we've learned.
They also emphasize having a clear vision for
Right.
your business or even your personal life,
Mm-hmm.
and being able to communicate that vision effectively to your team or the people you're working with.
Yeah, it's not just about having a vision.
Right.
It's about inspiring others to buy into that vision
Mm-hmm.
and work towards a common goal.
And they touch on the emotional side of leadership.
Yeah.
That importance of building trust,
Mm-hmm.
fostering a positive and supportive environment,
Right.
and making people feel like they truly belong.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
I think creating that sense of connection and belonging can be incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing that people are more than just cogs in a machine.
Mm-hmm.
They have emotions, aspirations,
Right.
and a need to feel valued and respected.
When we create a work environment that acknowledges and honors those needs,
Yeah.
it can lead to increased motivation, productivity, and overall satisfaction.
WealthWave also talks about how people are often more motivated by emotion than by logic.
That's a really important insight.
Hmm.
It's about connecting with people on a heart level,
Right.
understanding their values and motivation,
Yeah.
and inspiring them to tap into their full potential.
And that ties back into the importance of mentorship,
Yeah, for sure.
finding those individuals who can guide us
Right.
and provide both emotional and practical support.
They share some inspiring stories about WealthWave leaders who've achieved remarkable success.
Okay.
And they often attribute much of that success to the guidance and support they received from their mentors.
Yeah.
It highlights the transformative power of having someone who believes in you,
Right.
who challenges you to grow,
Yeah.
and who helps you navigate the inevitable challenges along the way.
They also discuss the importance of having systems in place, especially for team building.
Right. It's about creating a structured and sustainable approach to growth.
Okay.
Rather than relying on sporadic efforts or individual heroics, it's about establishing clear processes,
Yeah.
roles, and responsibilities that empower everyone to contribute their best and work together effectively.
There's a fascinating section where they talk about the power of stories
Okay.
and how we can use them to communicate complex ideas
Yeah.
in a more engaging and memorable way.
We're naturally drawn to stories.
Right.
Think about the popularity of reality TV shows. We're captivated by watching people overcome challenges, achieve their goals,
Yeah.
and experience the full spectrum of human emotions.
WealthWave suggests that we can use those same storytelling principles
Okay.
to make financial education more relatable and inspiring.
Instead of dry lectures and complicated jargon,
Right.
we can use real-life examples,
Mhm.
personal anecdotes, and compelling narratives to convey financial concepts in a way that resonates with people on an emotional level.
Exactly. It's about making financial literacy more accessible and engaging,
Yeah.
breaking down those barriers of intimidation and complexity.
They also address the challenges of the modern world,
Yeah.
things like economic uncertainty and the rising cost of living.
Right. I'm curious how they approach those issues.
Well, what's refreshing is that even in the face of these challenges,
Yeah.
WealthWave maintains a sense of optimism.
Okay.
They emphasize the opportunities that exist for those who are willing to adapt, innovate,
Hmm.
and embrace a growth mindset.
So instead of getting bogged down by the problems, they're looking for solutions and encouraging others to do the same.
They highlight the rise of silver entrepreneurs,
Right.
people who are starting businesses and achieving success later in life.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that it's never too late to pursue our passions, explore new possibilities, and create a fulfilling career on our own terms.
It's inspiring to see people reinventing themselves.
Yeah.
And defying those societal expectations about age and what's possible.
Yeah. They talk about how the American dream is evolving.
Okay.
It's becoming less about chasing material wealth and status
Yeah.
and more about finding purpose and fulfillment in our work and our lives.
It's about aligning our actions with our values,
Yeah.
making a positive impact,
Mm-hmm.
and creating a life that feels meaningful and authentic.
They encourage listeners to embrace the journey,
Okay.
to be open to new experiences,
Mm-hmm.
and to never stop learning and growing.
I like that it's not about reaching some predetermined destination.
Right.
It's about the continuous process of becoming the best versions of ourselves.
Exactly.
What's the overall message WealthWave leaves us with?
It's about empowerment. It's about recognizing that we have more agency and control over our lives and outcomes than we often realize.
Right.
It's about equipping ourselves with the knowledge, the mindset,
Yeah.
and the support systems we need to create a future that aligns with our values and aspirations.
It's also about understanding that success isn't a fixed point. It's a journey. There will be challenges and setbacks along the way,
Right.
but it's how we navigate those challenges,
Yeah.
how we learn and grow from those experiences that truly defines us.
They close with a powerful call to action.
Okay.
For your wildest dreams to come true, you must have wild dreams.
I like that.
It's an invitation to think big,
Yeah.
to push beyond those self-imposed limitations,
Right.
and to never settle for anything less than what we're truly capable of achieving.
So reflecting on all of these sources, what single idea resonated with you the most?
Yeah, that's a good question.
What action will you take based on that insight?
We'd love to hear your thoughts. Reach out to us with any follow-up questions or requests for deeper dives on any specific concepts that sparked your interest.
Yeah.
Until then, keep learning, keep growing, and keep chasing those wild dreams.